Hey, good morning guys. Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We're just doing injector job on a 120 Prado. Actually, I like doing injector jobs on a 120 Prado, so it feels like it's more needs to be done because they're so well overdue. I'd rather do them before they're this overdue, but it just feels better to be doing, you know, these really old flogged injectors rather than, you know, a bit of a warning if you've got a 2012, 13, 14, 15. I'm not telling you not to do the injectors, you know my general recommendations, but if you've got, since there is a shortage of injectors at the moment, so a couple of ways to look at it. We want to, so I don't want to sell you too many injectors, but then I'm not saying don't come to me, I'm saying definitely come to me and wait for me because we don't want you to end up with that remanufactured stuff. I'm just over at the bench getting the injectors ready to go into this vehicle, and same as we do for the ones we put into the vehicle, we do for the kits we send to you. We open, we check, we make sure the numbers are right, we make sure they're new, we know from the box, we know from the serial numbers, and we're going to make sure anyway, just in case the box is wrong, right? What if the box says, you know, by that serial number it says it's new, but somehow, see, accidents happen, like what happened if you saw the other video. It was an accident, somebody had made a problem with the labels and the mark they're looking at to determine whether it's reman or new. Obviously somebody marked it wrong or whatever the case may be. So yeah, lights, camera, action to get some light on the subject. Anyway, what I wanted to point out, one thing I pointed out in there is these are brand new genuine injectors. We're only ever going to supply a brand new genuine or install a brand new genuine. If that ever changes, I'll let you know. Make sure you subscribe with the bell on, all that sort of thing, so you don't miss out on those important messages. What I wanted to point out was there was one exception with that video, okay? And one person was confused because in the early Hiluxes, 2005 only, and half of 2006 up to about the middle of 06, it is a different injector. It looks a little bit different to this. I haven't got one unpacked in front of me. That'll be in another video. But they do look a little bit different to these. And those injectors are made in Thailand. There's nothing wrong with those. They're actually quite good. I love the quality of all the packing. There's less air in the bag. Rather than have that little brown piece of paper in the bag like these ones do, they've actually got a little moisture absorbent, what do you call it, so it's different. There's a few things on the injectors look a bit different, but rest assured if they came from me they're brand new. But they are different, so I just wanted to say that because with the remanufactured one that I showed, it had that absorbent bag thing in there which was different to all of these ones generally. But the exception to it was that early Hilux, 05, half of 06. If you've got a Euro 3, that's the one with the pipe. It hasn't got the EJ cooler there. Your injectors, they're going to look a little bit different to what these do in the packaging and whatever. As I've said in many other videos, there was also, excuse me, one other person was a bit confused. You know, with the package, don't worry about the packaging, okay? So obviously when they come to Australia, they're nicely packaged. When they get repackaged, they're fairly nice usually, but not always because it's just a bit inconsistent with who they've got on the job with the boxes and the wrapping and all that. So they are all repacked, right? The new ones and the reman into the same boxes. You try and work out why. I'm not even going to say why. I don't, yeah, that's just bizarre why you would go to that waste of unpacking and repacking to put new and used product into the same boxes, okay? Good luck with that one. Anyway, we just got some of the parts out here. These are generally what the seats should look like, but as I've mentioned in other videos, with those Euro 3s, they do look different. They're a shinier finish, more like the finish on these little gaskets. These are all single use only, these gaskets here. The EJAR gaskets you can reuse sometimes, that's up to you. We put new gaskets on every vehicle. This is just some parts getting ready for that vehicle. Obviously a set of pipes, new injectors, new pipes. The valve cover's going on, the top seals are going on. That's happening right now as I speak. And they've got the assistant there helping out with that. And all these gaskets are going to get used as it all goes back together. And I just wanted to point out, to be clear as, not clear as mud, clear as, you know, clear as clear, that there is some variations to what the injectors are going to look like. If you're not sure, once you unpack it, if you like, send me a photo, but I don't want to get photos from everyone unpacking their order. You know, thanks. Text me, yep, it's arrived if you like. That's cool, no worries. Try and do it during school hours, business hours. Try not to do it once you get home from work, 7, 8 o'clock at night and go, oh, it's arrived, because whatever, you know, I don't know. I like to have the phone not too far away in case there's something going on, but to be quite honest, yeah, you can text it anytime you like, because I'm getting more and more away from the work phone for these reasons, obviously. If people just sort of did it at the right time, then we could sort of have it on standby in case there was something urgent going on the weekend. but there's sometimes a little bit too much. Sometimes it's really good and it's really quiet, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's go back over the vehicle and have a chat about a couple other things. To be clear, on every injector replacement job, you're going to get your MAF sensor clean, mass airflow, king of sensors. We're going to clean it. Okay, every injector job. It doesn't necessarily happen on every service. It should be done when the air filter's clean. If you do dusty trips, you should probably clean it, and just be very careful how you clean it. Now I'm doing another little bit of R&D. I've just ordered one of these. I'm going to replace it on the 120 and see if it makes any difference with anything in any way whatsoever, simply because it's done 400,000 Ks almost, pretty close. We just want to get the put a new one in and just go, well, you know, is that, because it is an electrical item, you know, wear and tear, whatever, and we'll see if there's any improvements in fuel economy, power responsive, anything else. And we're going to replace other components too. We're going to replace the viscous fan hub as well. We're going to replace maybe the turbo. We're going to get onto things on the 120. But on this injector job here, so definitely a clean on the MAF. Of course, we replaced the MAP filter. Unless you say you replaced it recently, we replaced the MAP filter. That's that little grey plastic one that we've shown you in other videos. Check out the playlist, EGR information, MAP filters. You'll see a picture of those little grey things. They crack. Even when they're not cracked, they get blocked up. Now, I'll just address another one. A couple of times people have said, oh, you should buy the such and such one. It's like a steel case. Much better, they said. Well, look, you know, that's an aftermarket one. It's not a genuine one. Genuine, we know, often works best. Yes, the genuine ones do crack, but they don't crack until they're at least 10 years old generally, and they need to be changed every 3 or 4 years, in my opinion, somewhere around there. You can clean them in between, carby cleaner, carefully blow it out. Again, watch those videos for those precautions. This is not cleaning MAP filters, but my point is, I want to buy the cheaper one, the genuine one and the cheaper one, because it's going to get replaced. So there's no point buying the metal case one to prevent the cracking, because the filter in there, unless it's, okay, if we can open it up and we can buy 10 replacement filters for 10 bucks, now you got a product, okay? So we'll pay $100 for a metal case one that you can easily twist, open, and replace the little element in there once a year. That would be awesome, but you know what's going to happen? It's just going to leak oil everywhere because it's not sealed, if you know what I mean. So in my opinion, just stick with a genuine one. It's not that expensive. You're paying 50, 60 bucks for an air filter, right? A lot more often than the 50 or 60 bucks for that little rip-off plastic thing, you know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. And for the comments on the cleaning the air filter, we're just trying to help people out. If someone's got a really clean air filter and they take it off-roading, and then you try and blow the dust out after a day on the dust, and it can be very dusty in a day, yeah, you can just go buy a new one for 60 bucks, or you can use your brain, and you might have a few filters there. You don't want to do the filter because it takes time to dry. You'll do them in batches. You might have 3 there. Once you get 3 dirty, so you keep all your old ones, not your dirty, filthy, stained ones, the ones that are in reasonable condition, and the dust doesn't blow out. But as you saw in the demonstration of the video, the dust washes out. You don't need to use pressure. The oxy action was the go. The pressure washer was from a distance. It's not damaging anything. You're not damaging any of that. That sort of fibre they use, it's not paper. Look, you're not, in my opinion, I don't know, I haven't put it on a machine to test it, but you're not being rough with it. It's just dust coming out. It's not going to filter any more or any less than it did before, because you're not changing the material. So this one, obviously, we've done a bit of a pre-clean up. So first thing we do once the injectors are out is wipe along the top of the perimeter of the head, right? So it's not the final clean, that's the pre-clean. You've got to clean up all that RTV that's there. Most of that's been done. So that's like a pre-clean, and then we do a final Mickey Mouse clean before it goes back together. Same as the injector seats had a pre-clean, so I'm going to get in there and show you what they look like. Okay, so let's have a look at the ports, right? So they look pretty clean. You could definitely put an injector in there, and I'm sure a lot of workshops, I'm not sure, I know for a fact that a lot of workshops have and will put injectors in on ports that aren't cleaned out, but that's the pre-clean, right? Now, the other thing we do, which has been done on this vehicle, is check the valve clearances. That's the clearance between the top of that valve lifter there, right in the middle of the picture, that round dish underneath the camshaft, and the camshaft, but when the lobe's not touching it. See, when the lobe comes around, that's the lobe, middle of the picture, comes around, it presses on that lifter or bucket, which sits on top of the valve, pushes the valve down. That item there in the middle of the picture, that round thing with oil sitting on top of it, that is the device, that is the item that gets replaced if you want to adjust your valve clearance, open or close the gaps, right? So in our videos in the VIP, we specify the valve clearances and all that. All the videos, everything you need's in there. Okay, so ports, a little bit more cleaning and they'll go in. Valve clearances are okay. That's why the injectors are getting prepared to go in. Getting the valve cover ready, that needs to be ready. Things need to be done in the right order. So don't think you've watched this video and you know how to do injectors. Avoid other brands, avoid the Chinese copies, avoid any remanufactured. If you want brand new, genuine, you know who to come to. Allow time. We only work school hours, school days. We take a lot of annual leave. We do a lot of trips. Plan in advance. Mondays is parts day from 7:30 a.m. You can shoot me a text. Try and get it done in the morning so we can get them all packed and sent. And the latest information is, from now on, at the moment, while we're this busy, excuse me, with a bit of C19, we're only sending on Tuesday around midday. So if you get your orders in on Monday and it's all done and dusted and packed by about midday Tuesday, that's when we do the post run. Any emergency post runs for our trade partners, we will endeavour to get done any day of the week ASAP. And if there's any other orders ready, they will go then also. So there's always chance of an extra run. Or if you say, oh look, you know, I'm just completely disorganised and I don't watch videos, I can wait till the next Tuesday for it to be sent, that's fine. If you say, oh, I really need it, can you send it today on Wednesday or Thursday? We'll just charge an extra fee of $110 and we'll make a special trip just for you because you didn't do it on Monday. How does that sound? Awesome. Okay guys, so that's the injector information we got here. Again, lots of information in one video. There's plenty more like that on our channel. Search those, check out the playlists, injector information, EGR information, whatever topic or subject you're interested in. And once again, appreciate your business. Thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Turn the bell on. More awesome information coming your way soon. See ya.